how cool is it, especially where they are now, to see like Black women becoming big time movers and shakers in the sneaker game?
That's a good question.
For you guys, like when you see like the Serenas and like Beyonce with Ivy Park, and Rihanna and Skylar Diggins and Cardi B with Reebok, like, you know, Converse is kind of reviving their basketball game with it. You know, so go ahead.
I like that question. You know, that question is perfect for the times. You know, Skylar. Of course, I got to big up Skylar because it's, you know, it's a Jumpman thing. You know, she's doing a thing. But the lifestyle brands, you know, I'm huge into the lifestyle brands for women because, like, you know, that like Cardi B has such an influence on the younger generation right now. As much as I don't want my daughter to be influenced by Cardi B, you know, but she's getting her bank, you know, and the fact that, you know, is it Reebok? Yeah, it's Reebok. It's Reebok, you know, hooking up Cardi B right now. So it's like, you know, I'm glad that she's able to try to get into that. You know, she got into that even before who's our guy? Offset, Quavo, one of them, whatever. You know, none of those guys got a sneaker deal yet. You know, and he wears J's all day. He doesn't got no sneaker deal yet. You got Travis Scott, you got this, and Cardi B got a sneaker deal before him. So that's heavy. And then Jay-Z was with Reebok, and then now Ivy Park, Adidas. Like Adidas Ivy Park is heavy right now. It's doing its thing because Rihanna also did her little thing with Puma. But I think the Ivy Park is. I think Ivy Park and Cardi B thing is gonna go. Skylar's, you know, it's gonna be hard because they're not. You can't rock them, you know. So all the girls playing ball, they might be on it, but you know, most girls that are watching and going through the Instagrams and stuff like that, you're either gonna rock Cardi B's or they're gonna rock Ivy Parks, and they're most likely gonna be Cardi B. So that was huge. That is huge for Reebok to get her, and it, you know, I know a lot of people who are asking me, yo, Mikey, yo, I gotta get these for my girl. I'm like, bro, I don't have that. I don't have that hookup, bro. I can't.
Yeah, that Reebok plug like that.
Yeah, I don't got the Cardi. What? You need Iversons? Maybe, but I don't have the Cardi B hookup. I can't. But it's good though. The hype is great. The women are doing their thing, and I think for women, the lifestyle brands, you know, if you get Cardi B, if you get Beyonce, it works out better than trying to, you know, do the you know, if you do that men's aspect where you're trying to get like, you know, Drake or Travis Scott or Offset or Quavo or Justin Bieber, like those guys won't sell as much shoes as an athlete. Whereas women, lifestyle, yeah, you know, Beyonce's huge, you know, Cardi B, huge. You know, they'll definitely sell more sneakers than Skylar Diggins, 100%.
So for me, I mean, I love that question. I love that question exists and an answer exists now. But the first thing that popped into my mind was like in the 80s, seeing MC Lyte wearing Adidas. And like thinking like, man, imagine if, I don't know if it happened or not, but imagine if she would have got a sneaker deal back then, because she rocked Adidas hard with jumbo laces and big earrings. And, you know, I always MC Lyte.
Following Run DMC, like in that same thing.
Yeah. So, you know, for it to be happening today, I love it. I don't have enough information. I don't know enough about it to give like an educated answer. But if women are out there, especially, you know, Skylar getting a sneaker deal, number one, it's genius because girls in basketball it's growing at a phenomenal rate. Like it's everywhere now, and it's amazing. And if women are getting sneaker deals, booyah! I would buy a pair for my wife, my daughter, my mom, just to support it and help it grow. And I'm all for it, man.
Absolutely. And it kind of speaks to the same thing we were talking about earlier, the theme of how everything's open now, right? Because the 80s and 90s, women were just wearing whatever the guys wore kind of thing, right? Yeah. Like, I think, Nike had their I think earlier this year, they re-released the Air Swoops. like Cheryl Swoops from back in
Oh
the day.
my
Like,
God, I remember those. The
yeah, they
swoops,
re-released those, and I'm like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah,
that's
yeah. I
huge.
remember those. Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
But like to me, it's like, yeah, I think it's kind of like, why did it take so long? You know what I mean? Like the fact that it's here now, I think it's a great thing. The one I'm kind of interested in, honestly, is because of everything she's been doing, especially in the last year. I'm kind of interested to see what Osaka does. Naomi Osaka.
I love her.
Like I'm kind of interested to see what she does because now she's with Nike, and the way she's kind of moving now, I'm like,
Especially
if they come up with a lifestyle
like
for her, and she's still moving this way, yeah.
She pulls in like a Japanese fashion aspect. She just did a photo shoot with, I think it was Vogue, and like, the fashion and the angle that she took for that photo shoot, so sick. To see an athlete like diving deep into fashion like that.
Yeah, but I have to mess you guys up a little bit because the problem was with Nike and Adidas and I don't know, I'll say Converse, but Nike is Converse, but these girls who've been playing, like Serena's the top of her game. Like Serena's the best of the best. Like she's like her record like she's the best of all time in that sport. Like in tennis, you know what I mean? And her stuff isn't as accessible to everybody as it should be. So that's the reason why it's like when I rock a pair of Serena Williams, if they were out, but I have to go online, I have to do this, that, next thing, and blah, 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 and try to get it. Like I would rather have my daughter running around in a pair of Serena Williams right now than a pair of Roshis. But I can't, it's not accessible. They make from size 8 to size 12, and they have 10,000 pairs, and they only sell in LA or New York. You know, they're not accessible. And this is the best tennis player in the world. Like not even woman. Like she's the best tennis player in the world.
That we've seen, basically, right?
Right?
Especially, yeah.
Everything's not accessible. You might, if you put that in the, and I'm not trying to downgrade it, but if you put that shoe in the outlet for $79.99, they have a size 9 men's, they got a size 11, 10 and a half. We might buy it because the shoe looks good. And it says Serena. It says an SW on it.
Right.
We might do that to support. But because you make it for women, so Serena wears a size 8 men's, and you make it from size 8 or size 6 to size 10 women's, now who's going to buy that? Only girls who play tennis.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true what he's saying. Yeah. Even these got released only in female sizes. Like I don't know why this shoe is considered a female. Why is it a female Jordan? It was only released in female sizes. I didn't care. I just got 2 sizes bigger. I'm like, I'm rocking these. I don't care. Mm-hmm. I have no shame with that.
No, but it speaks to, like, it's funny because you know everything that's been. Sorry, go ahead. I'll make my point. Go ahead.
Watch this. Just read this tag right here. What does this tag say?
Yeah, women's, 100%.
Women's,
right? I had to buy size 12 and a half, right? Look at this shoe. I'm opening this up for the second time ever because I might sell it. No, I'm just joking. I don't sell shoes. But look, this is an off-white 4s. There you go.
What color is that? It's
sale. This is a sale shoe. This shoe is one of the most sought after shoes right now in the world. So ask me what I paid for it, because then you're going to ask me for a loan. Okay? But this was a woman's shoe, and I bought it. Why? Because I wanted it, and it was available. If they made Serena shoes available, people would buy them, but they don't.
I'd rock Serena shoe just to support.
Yeah, and when you look at it from that aspect, absolutely. Like if there was more of a lifestyle push towards it, and I think they missed the mark because, and I mean, there's still time because she's still such a huge star. There's still time to do it, but it's just, can you imagine if they were doing this 10, 15 years ago, where they just had a straight Serena line of just pumping it as hard as they were pumping LeBrons or Kobe's or MJ's, you know what I mean? Like
100%.
Like, I think that would have been crazy. Like, to me, like the other woman that, like, to me, where I think she was with Jordan for a while, Maya Moore, But for people that's not familiar with the story, she took 3 years off, to basically fight a social justice issue, getting somebody out of jail, which is an amazing story. But for something like that, I'd be like, okay, you're a Jordanaire for life now, but everything happened that died down. It's like, okay, like nobody's capitalizing on this. Like if I'm somebody working at Nike, I'm like, or Jordan, I'm like, okay, like how are we making a new Maya Moores now? Come back to WNBA, how are we doing this?
But that's tough. That's tough. Because you have to understand one thing too, is that the women still, every woman, and I would love to flip my camera, but I won't because I don't know if it's going to be a good picture or not. But every woman will still go to the store and buy retro Jordans.
Oh yeah, 100%.
PJ's wife.
Those are the only shoes my wife has.
That's right. PJ's wife has at least 10 pairs. My wife has 30, and they don't have Maya Moores. They don't have Cheryl Swoops. They don't have Lisa Leslie's, but they all have retros.
Yeah.
And that's where Nike and Jordan they're like, okay, you know what? If we can sell more kids sizes and sell them for almost adult prices because grown women are buying them, then why is the women's shoes?
Right. Well, it's also a big chance they're going to take, right? Us three here, we're open-minded enough to support, but a lot of people out there may not be. So now they invest X amount of dollars in producing this shoe just to sit in outlets around North America.
Yeah.
And it could completely tarnish that person's brand.
Yeah.
Serena comes up with a pair of shoe and sells $3 million in profit on those shoes. I don't think it would happen, but it's a chance that it could.
No, but it's like you said, and I almost think it was a scam by Jordan brand to make certain shoes and say they're women's, so that people can buy them and say, you know what, we're supporting women.
Right.
Whereas
again, I'll ask,
why
the hell are these women's shoes? What is it? I have no idea that makes these women's shoes. What?
They just made it exclusive to women. That's
right.
all.
Is it the color? Is this like?
Look, this is a woman's shoe.
Yeah.
Well, go look it up. Go look up this Off-White 4 on StockX right now. You see how much money this costs.
That's crazy. Yeah, I just feel like I love where it is right now because, like I said again, it speaks to that whole open-mindedness about culture, where the shoe game is going. But it's just like I feel like they missed the mark in some aspects.
No, they did 100%. They did, but it's just because they weren't. They missed it because nobody was willing to take the chance. No one brand was willing to take the chance on it.
But guys, I'll say it again. What we're wearing today was planned 2 years ago. Yeah. The movement that's happening right now with women,
2 years
women of color, women in athletics. I can almost guarantee you, if we come back and watch this podcast and you have me saying this 2 years from now, I can almost guarantee you that one of these female athletes, especially a woman of color, has a shoe come out with a massive campaign behind them. If not next year, because they started planning it last year, then the year after.
Yeah.
Well, it looks
like an Osaka, or like I said, even like a Maya Moore or a Serena, or continue to be Beyonce, whoever. Yeah, like it's gonna.
Yeah, like there's no way that everything that's happening right now with the shift that's happening right now. There's a marketing team sitting somewhere, a design team sitting somewhere, sitting with an athlete, putting together a whole plan, having that whole backstory. It's you can almost count it down, man. If not this next year, by the end of this summer, next summer, it's happening.
Yeah, good point. Great point. You're right. Here's my last question. Sorry, did you want to make one more point about it, Mikey? Before I
just wanted to show you guys a pair of shoes I bought for my wife. Right, these are Serena Williams. Right. So if you see this right here,
I didn't know those existed.
Oh, Black History Month.
So these were Serena's. Look at that. See their tennis balls flying around?
Oh, sick.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
These were a pair of heeled dunks that I bought for my wife.
Those aren't iconic.
Right?
Those are dope in concept.
Right?
But those were like
But why wouldn't Nike go and bank on this? My wife is not black, but she bought the shoe. She wanted the shoe. I bought it for her. And this is Serena Williams, the tennis balls. These were her release of dunks that she had released in her name. Yeah, and I only got these in the States. They only came out in the States. It was a heeled dunk running shoe. Black History Month. Came out in February with all the tennis balls going everywhere.
See, if I was Nike, I would be developing a shoe that every young black woman in America who plays tennis wants to walk on the court in those shoes. I would talk about the backstory of women struggling for so long to get equal pay in the sport. I would tell the Serena Williams story about playing with her sister and her father, and just put together a campaign that you deliver that every woman that laced up a pair of shoes and stepped on the court could believe that she's the next Serena Williams.
Absolutely.
And the amount of women across North America that would be wearing that shoe, I don't understand why Nike's not capitalizing.
Seriously, and even thinking about it, they come from Compton. Imagine like the silhouette of Compton, like on somewhere on the sole of the shoe or the tongue of the shoe, like.
The storyline behind that, something made tough for the turf, that can deal with adversity, can understand the high impact of the game and life.
You know what, PJ, you're killing it right now. And the problem is, I don't understand why they weren't giving this platform, because they made a Kobe for DeMar DeRozan on that same subject and premise that you're talking about right now. So they used another shoe and made it for one other player, and it was super exclusive, and it did well. Where she can have her own shoe.
She's already signed to Nike.
Yeah.
Done so.
Like, how much time do you need? The woman stopped playing to have a child, come back and win.
I like that.
Criticized for the outfit she wore because it's not traditional tennis outfits, wearing all white. She wore what she wanted to wear. She's not considered your typical tennis player's physique. Like, the storyline behind all of that. And
everything is right. Everything is right there. The cat.
I hope it comes out this summer. I hope in July it launches and we were like, aha!
we spoke about it first, but you're right though. Like the cat suit, and like the cat suit's iconic.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's iconic, but that has more. That's talked about way more than her shoes, which to me, like, it should be one and the same. You know what I mean? Like the cat suit's iconic, but it should be like, okay, at the point now where it's like,
you are iconic.
Yeah.
Walk in the footsteps of Serena.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm diving too deep into what I do for a living, but like.
No, I don't think so. I think that's a great point. But that's where I think that's why I'm like, they're missing the mark. Like, it's great that it's coming now, but it's like, and they're having a major impact on the shoe game now, which is great, but it's like, this should have been maybe like 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was.
People may judge me for saying this, but, this is why H&M put out an ad with a young black boy wearing a t-shirt with a monkey on it and a white boy beside him, a young white boy beside him with a t-shirt saying King of the Jungle. Because as a creative director, if I was in that room, there's no way in hell I would sign off on that. And a lot of these brands right now and in the past 5 years, they don't have people of color sitting at the decision-making table.
100%.
Right? So, the Serena Williams story, they may go through the numbers and say, hey, what we're going to spend on marketing dollars compared to the profit that we'll net at the end of this campaign, is it worth it? But, they're not looking at it from a longevity standpoint. She's made history like Michael Jordan. She's here forever.
Forever. That's
forever.
Right.
So that shoe that you make, that you put out, that brand that you put together, that's here. In 20 years, people will be talking about the first pair of Serena Williams they got. Young girls playing tennis. Who knows if it bleeds over into fashion? Because tennis isn't necessarily a white sport anymore.
Yeah.
And this is something to think about, right? But it's not being thought about because the people who are at the table making the decisions, not they don't necessarily come from these backgrounds where these things are important, right? Anyways, I don't want to go off on that tangent. That's a different podcast.
No, I love that. I love that. That's an excellent point. Excellent point. I love that. I love that. I guess this is like one of my last like one. This is my last question because, like I said, the last question I have is I want him to pick like a top 3 of his shoes that's behind him on the wall, and just make him get anxious. But the question I have to ask is basically about, you know, and talking about, I guess kind of like segueing into this topic here is about Steph Curry, because, and we've talked about this, but the story with Steph with Nike, I mean, I'm not really going to explain it. Google it when you get a chance, because it's a great story. But basically, Nike made a $13 billion mistake. So that story, how he just even got to Under Armour, is crazy in itself. But he's become such an icon of the company now that he's been given the rights to his own brand. He's got his own brand, like Jordan and like Kanye, which is, you know, the Curry line. Now, with that said, why aren't we celebrating this more? Especially in the climate of supporting and celebrating Black business, why are we getting to his kicks? For that specific reason where the history is being made. You got your hand up.
Listen, I've been a Golden State Warrior fan since high school. I love Steph Curry, everything about him, his game, the way he changed the game, his dedication to God and his family, and
I know where this is going.
The role model that he is. When we got off our call last time, I didn't know that Steph Curry got his own shoe. I said, you know what? I'm going to buy that shoe because I love Steph Curry. I saw the shoe. Damn, Steph. Who designed that shoe? Have you guys seen it?
Of course.
Yeah. I have.
I don't think it's a good looking shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's I mean, aesthetically, personally, no offense, Curry. Like, I'm not a fan of the shoe, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably still gonna buy it just to support, because what he did and what he accomplished and what he was able to do, even considering, you know, walking away from Nike and believing in his own spirit and what he wanted to accomplish. I'm gonna buy the shoe. I'm not gonna rock it. Mm-hmm. I don't like the shoe. I think the shoe it's not a good design. I don't like the logo. I just don't like the shoe, man.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I get it. And I'm like, you know what? It's not that bad. But what I've seen online, is that what you thought I was going to say, or you thought I was going to say something else?
I thought you were going to say, because it's Under Armour. I thought that's where you were going to go.
I don't care. Okay. I don't care about Under Armour. I don't care.
That's why I was laughing.
I mean, I was so excited. I was like, oh, damn, Steph got his own shoe. And then I saw it, and I was like, oh. It was kind of like that. It was like, and then I looked at the colorways, and I was like, Mike, what do you think of the shoe?
Okay, so here's where I am with the shoe. The shoe is the shoe, right? What happened is, it's whatever he does to make that shoe become what it's supposed to be. The Jordan shoe, when it first came out, it was ugly. It had too much. Yes, it was. PJ.
No.
It's fine. It's fine what you're
saying. The only ugly Jordans are the 2s.
Listen. The shoe came out. I have this many pairs of shoes. I have not bought a pair of ones until 3 years ago.
Yeah, but that's just perspective, because I loved the ones when they came out.
So you're telling me, you said your perspective of the Currys is bad.
That's my perspective. I'm allowed to have mine.
100%. And I have mine, and it is bad. The logo is bad. The shoe is bad.
The logo.
We are in our frame of mind about the sneakers, right?
Right.
We like what we like, and this shoe does not.
I see what you're saying. The new generation might look at this and be like, "Oh, it's dope."
So when Kelvin is asking us now, how do you guys feel about it? The whole situation is amazing. Because from here moving on forward, he's making bank. He's taking care of his family.
Generational wealth.
Yeah.
He's got a brand within a brand.
Right.
So that's huge because no matter what, he can do like Shaq did, right? Shaq is still with Reebok. If they make a shoe that was with Shaq's, he's making money, but he's also making money from the Shaqs that are sold inside Walmart, right?
He basically replicated the music industry. He created a label within a label.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's genius. I love it. I'm so happy he did it. He deserves it.
Yeah.
You and I are not buying a pair of Steph Curry's. If we're giving them, if Cal gets an Under Armour sponsorship, I will wear those. I'll put them in my shelves.
No,
right?
I'm gonna buy one pair. I'm gonna buy one pair.
When Calvin gets a sponsorship, I will put them in my shelf for the podcast. Okay?
Sure. Yeah.
No problem. But I will buy them for my son. My son wants to play ball. He wants to be Steph Curry. Everybody wants to shoot. No problem. The end goal for it is amazing. The design, so it is what it is. But he's looking towards the future of the brand and his name. He's trying to make a legacy, right?
What is it called?
I think it's just Curry's. The Curry.
Is it called Curry?
They're just they're Curry 8s right now. Who knows? Like whatever number.
Is it like?
But I think the brand
Under Armour Curry.
No, I think it's just Curry.
That's right.
It's just Curry's.
So it's his own shoe.
Pardon me?
It's his own like manufactured. There's
like
no
Jordan, like how Jordan is separated from Nike and it's just Jordan.
Yeah.
That's what, and like the Yeezy, same thing. Is that this is what Curry is right now.
But no, you see, there's a very different point that you guys aren't talking about, and what it is, it's called leverage, right? When we say leverage, you know, you have like, we know Yeezys are made by Adidas.
No,
we know Jordans. At the end of the day, you want to get the Jordans that say Nike Air on the back.
100%.
Yeah.
Right. And so if Curry's are just Curry's, if there's nothing leveraging that and giving it a little support and a little
no, I mean it's Under Armour, but it's right.
So it's called the Under Armour Curry's.
No, they're
Curry.
Under Armour. They're Curry's manufactured by Under Armour.
Right. They're gonna have to work on that story.
No, but like it's like the cars. Like Genesis is.
No, I get it.
I get it. Right.
I just don't think it's gonna have. It doesn't have that lift off for me. Like it's gonna need a little more support than that.
I know, but if you think about it, right? Whereas before Curry was getting paid, let's just say $20 million for being part of Under Armour. Now he gets dividends on shoes sold.
No, I get it. I get it entirely, and it's a move that's going to set up his great grandkids because now his shoe is going to be ingrained into the family name moving forward, and I support it. That's why I'm going to buy one pair.
Yeah. Plus, he can sign other athletes and stuff too.
He can sign athletes. He can do endorsement deals. He can sponsor high schools, sponsor NCAA. I get it. It's beautiful. I love it. At the end of the day, he needs to get a different designer.
And maybe that's in the works, right?
Or maybe as Mike said, shit, man, maybe we have 40-year-old taste. And the new generation are going to be like, yo, these are sick. And everything I'm saying right now is nothing, means nothing. Because it sells out in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? That's the thing today. You don't know. Me personally, I just don't like them, but I'm gonna buy them anyways to support him. Big you up, Curry. One time.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up the light skin.
See?
With a curry roti, with a potato and chana roti, just to put it all together. Just put it all together, right?
Extra spice, extra gravy.
Yeah. Put a little tamarind sauce in there.
Just make sure you get parenta, not chana.
I like the chana.
You like chana roti?
Yeah.
You do
man. Potato and chana, of course. Absolutely.
You guys don't get parenta?
Absolutely.
I like it wrapped up, bro. I like it wrapped up, bro. You like your thing on the side, man.
No. Parenta, man. The soft roti shell, not with all the little china seeds on the inside.
The powder.
I don't like that powder business, man.
There's Dal Curry and Parenta. You gotta do the big one. Well,
I get Parenta. That's it.
Parenta is the other nickname for it is bust up shot. When it looks like it's tore up.
Oh shit! What did I say? I said China, not Dal Curry. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So one's with the P's, one's without the P's.
Yeah, I don't like the P's. I like without the P's.
Right.
The Franta.
So I'm just saying that when you get the Currys, you gotta have a roti. You gotta have a potato and
there you go.
Potato roti. There you go. You gotta
There you
put
go.
it together. Take a picture with the shoe beside the plate of the roti, and you're good to go. You got your grace. You're good to go.
Done. Like this.
But but the thing is, what you're saying though, Mikey, is which is kind of interesting. Before we wrap this up, it's like, like there's already kind of a story to the shoe. The fact that the history is made from that aspect. But then this year, yeah, the team's not doing that great, but he's having a monster season. He's probably going to lead the league in scoring. He just passed Wilt Chamberlain as the all-time leading scorer for the franchise history. He's got like 3 50-point games. He's got a 60-point game. You know what I mean? So it's like, if your shoes are gonna like have a backstory to it, I mean, this one's not bad. You know what I mean? In terms of where it's at for the first one that's representing the Curry.
I have a really random question.
No, hold on. Forget your random question for a second. He's got 5 to 6 years left in the league, and he's already a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, how could his shoes not, from a business aspect, how could his shoes not do well?
That's right.
Like, you have a guy like Dr. J, you have guys like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. They try to do the shoe thing. It was meh. But the guys who did it, Shaq is still doing it. Penny Hardaway is still doing something. He's still getting money from Nike. Allen Iverson is still getting money from Nike.
Reebok.
Yeah.
And what is going on with Reebok too? I guess that's another question or subject, but
we're
still waiting. We're still waiting for Master P and Baron Davis to.
No.
I haven't heard anything yet from it, but the thing is where Reebok again is where they're screwing up, and I think they should probably look at somebody taking this as like sorry?
They're dead.
Not just of course.
They're gonna be gone.
Of course.
They don't own any sport. Umbro owns soccer. Puma, you think soccer, now they're getting into basketball.
Lifestyle. Yeah.
Head owns tennis. Head owns skiing. Nike owns lifestyle basketball. Who owns track?
Nike.
I don't know. Nike. Who owns hockey? CCM Bauer.
Right.
Yep.
What the fuck does Reebok own?
Nothing.
Reebok owned the pump.
No, Reebok had hockey 2 years ago.
With who?
The jerseys. They had the jerseys 2 years ago. Reebok.
Fine. Okay, fine. Reebok had hockey with the jerseys, but what athletic gear do you think about wearing with Reebok? Outside of D Brown doing this, that was the biggest marketing campaign Reebok ever fucking
and
saw.
And then the thing is too, they changed the logo to like this triangular thing, and I'm like, what the?
Then Reebok came out with black tops. Black tops was the shit.
Yo, I used to like Reebok. I used to like Reebok basketball shoes when like in high school and stuff.
Then what they did was they tried to go back to their originals where they had the all white shoe with the 2 blue stripes.
Is my turn?
Yep.
Oh, Reebok owned cross training and UFC.
Reebok did own cross training.
That's it. You're right.
They did. So where did that go? What happened? Where did they UFC? They lost because UFC became their own brand. But then what happened?
They're still Reebok.
So, well, what does Reebok own now? Why aren't they marketing that? Why aren't they pushing that? I don't see Reebok anywhere.
They're in Dubai.
The only time I see Reebok is with Master P beside him.
But the thing that's messed up though is like where they dropped the ball. You have an icon. You have Iverson. That's an icon. They should, even after he retired, you should have been pumping his shoes out.
100%.
Like you should still be making shoes. You still be making kids will still rock Iversons now.
I love those so much.
Yeah.
I'm so mad that I don't own a pair of those.
I don't own. I know. I never owned a pair of those either.
I played ball in the blue ones. They were my favorite shoe, and then the air bubble burst.
The burst, yeah, the hexa, like whatever.
It burst in a game.
Oh wow! But those are like but again, like the younger generation still fuck with AI.
That's right.
Still fuck with AI. Why aren't you making like, even if you're gonna do like the throwbacks and you're gonna resell those ones. Even if you're gonna go do those ones are fine. But again, why isn't there like an Iverson 15? Like he's got a lifetime deal, but yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I think it also comes down to like, you know, the reputation that happened with him. I mean, I'm not going to get into like business talk and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think Reebok got scared, man. Reebok wasn't willing to support the athlete through what they were going through, and they were committed to a lifetime deal because of contracts. They weren't committed to a lifetime deal because they wanted to and supported the player. Because if they did, when he retired, they would have celebrated his retirement a lot more. They would have pushed the anniversary shoe. They would have ran campaigns. They would have did content telling his story.
New questions.
Pushed his jersey. The
new
question,
questions.
like,
yeah, like
you know, they would have started, you know, going after young athletes who have that attitude and competitive edge and sign those athletes and recreate that Iverson story and the new athlete. LaMelo, they should have went after Melo 100%.
Yeah, like to me, those different color toes, like, you know, like the questions, like those, like pull them up again, Mikey. Do you stop them there?
Right here, right here.
Like, yeah, like that.
Those are such an iconic shoe.
Those are iconic. They're iconic. They're iconic. You know what I mean? Like for Reebok, like when you see those, you're like, oh, like it just right there. Any and honestly, any like 20-year-old or whatever right now they would absolutely get pairs of those.
100%.
So to me, it doesn't make any sense. Where it's like, again, like that's another drop the ball situation. Like, and to touch on what you're saying, they should have been reselling all of those continuously and making more.
Yeah. They didn't realize, you know, they didn't take his tragedy and support him and be a brand that stood behind him. Instead, they just got quiet and let it die off. He has his lifetime deal. When he's, 35 or 40, he gets the rest of his money?
Something like that, yeah.
50. When he turns 50.
When he turns 50, he gets the rest of his money?
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, man, back to H&M and back to the people that are making the decisions at the head of the table. You got to understand the culture that you're trying to sell to, man.
No, absolutely. And I guess to kind of recircle this back to Steph, it's like, okay, now you have an opportunity with all this going on. Like, let's get the right things in place to like make this something. Who cares if it's Under Armour? Let's like, you have the thing to make this something now, you know?
So I do have a question though. I haven't watched basketball a lot this year. Does he play in them?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like all those big games that I was mentioning before, like
he switches at sometimes.
Sorry?
He switches the shoes at halftime sometimes.
Sick. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a pair. I'm gonna buy a pair tonight.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, all those numbers that I was mentioning, like the 50, 60-point games, he's doing it in those shoes.
Yeah, I don't care if I don't like them. I'm gonna buy them just because I support him.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna follow your lead on that because like that to me is like we should be. That's something where it's like we should be supporting.
What the hell are you throwing your hands in the air for?
Because now I gotta go online and buy a pair of shoes. I'm not getting my wife. I got another pair of shoes coming to the door.
Do they make They make kid size?
Yeah, get matchy.
Yeah. I'm gonna get Monty a pair too.
I should probably get my son a pair because I want to get him. Now he likes basketball a little bit, so and he's got a Curry shirt. So
yeah, I'm gonna buy them tonight.
Yeah, you probably would. So I guess to wrap up now, first of all, great conversation. But I want to make Mike anxious, so I need you to pick your favorite 3 pairs right now. Like that's behind you, not your whole thing, but right now, right?
Well, what's behind me?
Right from the wall that's right behind you right now.
Top 3?
Your top 3.
Oh man, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh man, this is hard now. Hold on. Oh man. That's it. Top 3.
So the black cements.
Black cements.
Okay. The 4s.
White cement 4.
Yeah, the 4s are dope, man.
Mm-hmm.
4s are always dope.
Such a beautiful shoe, man.
Yeah, it really is.
I got married in this shoe. You just has to be a beautiful shoe. That's top 3, baby.
And he can wear that with a suit.
Come on, man. You could wear this with anything. You could wear this with a suit. You could wear it with shorts. You could wear it with skinny jeans. You could wear it with fat jeans. You could wear it with a track suit. You could wear it with a NBA warm-up suit. You could wear this. Your girl can wear these. Like, there's no way you can wear this and somebody don't say, man, where you get those at?
The funny thing is mine look older now. And it's like the older they look, the more people stop you and say, yo, dope shoes.
Yeah, 100%.
Man, my shout out to I guess I can call him my nephew, but shout out to my wife's nephew, Rye. But he when my daughter was born, the first 4 or 5 years, he kept buying her. He's a sneakerhead too, and he kept buying her Jordans, kept buying her like. So she had like the first 5 or 6 pairs. So she had those. She had the Concords, and I remember every time we fly out with her, and I put those shoes on her, every stewardess, every pilot would be like, where did she get those? Like, they would be complimenting her. And I'm like, I don't even own these, man. I never even have these. And I'm like, I still have them, actually. We still have them. I'm like, I'm not giving this to another kid.
100%.
Those you keep.
100%. Listen, and then not to be like this, but you see all 3 of these that I showed you? Yeah. My kids got the same. They got him. If it's
Same here.
My kids got it.
all 3 of those too.
100%.
Those are essentials. I had to get those. I bought that. I actually bought some of those in 2 pairs.
Yeah.
I bought one like a size like 7 or 8C, and then I bought a 10C to make sure, just in case he don't wear that size that summer. He'll
still have the next one.
That's right.
You guys don't know. I can run and show you the shoes that my son has, and it's waiting for him in size 10. And you always be like, "What? I need those."
Bro, Monty just hit size 10.
It's crazy.
Monty just hit size 10. I'm so happy that he's 10 on summertime, even though we can't go anywhere. But I bought all of these kicks trying to time the way his foot was growing, and I was like, "Oh boy, I think this summer he's gonna hit 10."
We're gonna have to go for a lot of walks.
Here, hold on. I don't know if they're here, but I'll show you what I'll show you what Uncle Mike got Monty for size 10.
Okay.
Oh, they're here.
I take care of my family, bro.
No, they're in his room.
Oh, should I show it? Because Iversons are here.
Here's one size 10.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah, he rocks these. These are his house shoes now. He loves these.
Fire Red 4s, baby.
Yeah, he rocks these and the blue ones around the house all day.
Yeah, see, my daughter had the breads. She had the breads, and then he had the the first like the 1s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, and the 11s. And those are, it's funny. Those ironically, those are my favorite Jordans too.
Yeah. See, it works out like
all those ones, but I never owned like most of those. That's the funny thing. I'm like, especially the Concords. I'm like, man. Every time she used to wear it, I'm like, yeah, I need to get myself a pair, man.
I have those because of this guy.
Yeah, I bought them for my nephew. I bought them for my son. Most of the time, whatever I buy Iverson, I get 2.
One.
No, I get 2. I got 2 boys, so I always try to get 2.
You get 2. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, man. That's how I do it. I want to have that feeling, you know.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a long way from the pit and yellows.
Yeah,
it's a long way. It's a long way from those days. The games have completely changed from those days. Which we ain't never going back. We ain't going back.
In this room, I have the stock room of yellow. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. In this basement, you know, who would have thought? You know.
See, and that's the motivation of the yellows in the pit. They make sneakerheads like Mikey. You're never going back. I ain't never going back.
I ain't never going back. 100%. And nobody has the last name husbands is going back. 100%.
Well, on that note, fellas, look, man, thank you so much for doing this. And collaborate with me on this, because like I said, when just before we were starting to record part 1, I'm like, man, I hope these guys are cool with doing a part 2, because part 1's not going to be enough. I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, this isn't going to work. This is not going to work in an hour. It's not.
It's too much.
It's not going to work. So you know, I thank you guys for doing that. You know what I mean? And you know, we taking the time. I know we kind of split this up. We're in different outfits, but it's all good. You know, where we going right now is lockdown city. So, you know, we can have these conversations, these thoughtful, you know, nostalgic conversations and just where the shoe game is and where it's going. So, you know, and like I said, I'm not a sneakerhead, but I still, like I said, I to this day, just, you know, maybe it's the former athlete in me. I can't walk by a shoe store without going in just to see what they have. It'll never leave me, you know.
Bro,
so
it's my favorite smell on the planet.
It's a pair of shoes.
Getting a new pair of shoes, brand new, smell it. I'm like, oh man, something about opening that box, trying on a shoe, taking it home. You know, even like I have shoes I don't even wear, man. It's just that to come home and have it, you know, to look down and know there's nothing like putting on a fresh pair of shoe that doesn't have a wrinkle. The laces are clean.
Yeah, it's that crease. It's that crease.
Yeah.
Shoe without a crease. Listen, there's nothing better than when you see somebody and they look down before they look up. That's my best feeling in the world. When I go out somewhere and they look down instead of looking up, I'm good.
You're good to go.
I think I love that feeling of being somewhere and like especially the youngins. You know, when you're out somewhere, you're holding your kid and like, you know, we're older guys now, you know, and you're holding your kid or you're ordering some food or you're with your wife and you happen to turn and you see somebody like this looking at your shoe and they look up at you and they just give you like that.
Not like,
all right. That's it.
I'm relevant.
That's right.
Yeah. And like fashion, it's true. They say like fashion too. It's all part of it. It gives a certain level of confidence when you're walking around. There's a reason why shoes come out for certain occasions, right? 100%. So you want to knock it all you want, but we all do it, right?
Well, what they say is your shoe, your belt, and your watch. Those three. Keep those three on point, and you're all right.
Everything else is good to go.
Everything else is good to go. You could have the best. You could have the best suit in the world. Your shoes look like shit. So does your suit.
Exactly.
100%. 100%.
100%. But seriously, guys, thank you. I appreciate you guys for doing this, man. I really appreciate this. It's great conversations, man, over the last little bit. So I appreciate
your podcast, Cal. Keep doing all your great work, brother.
No, thank you. Thank you. We'll do.
Yeah, you're represented from Montreal. You're represented for South Shore Ave. I appreciate you putting me on. Let me get some exposure, man. Like nobody gives me no love, but you know, a real one recognizes a real one. I'm not a sneakerhead. I'm just a dude that's a real one. So I appreciate you doing what you do because you're a real one and you recognize real. You know, you're a real dude and I respect that what you're doing, man. It's crazy.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.